Welcome back to Bold of You to Say. We're back with another episode. Sorry we missed last week.
I was out sick. I got my
we decided
last...
that you don't deserve an episode. But this week you really stepped it up. You brought your grades up, and I gotta say your behavior has been a lot better. So we have decided to treat you to a new episode of the Bold of You to Say podcast.
Hell yeah. This is high quality garbage. We're studying it directly down your throat.
We talked a bit about Falcon and the Winter Soldier, talking specifically about U.S. Agent and the guy that plays him getting a lot of, let's just say, negative attention on social media.
For no reason, too. It's bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
Just leave him alone. God.
We talked about some of the greatest crossovers in cinematic history.
I want to rant about Power Rangers.
Including but not limited to Batman and Elmer Fudd, Power Rangers and Ninja Turtles, a lot of great stuff. And then we took some time to roast Amazon, because that's like our civic duty. As an American, it's our civic duty to just take some time every week to roast Amazon.
Hell yeah.
And then we closed out the show with some of our recommendations of the week, which I think is going to be a regular segment now because I like it a lot. But yeah, anyway, like, comment, subscribe, leave us a review on Podchaser. That's like an IMDb site for podcasts. Oh, also, timestamps will be listed out down below in the description, so you can skip to whatever topic you'd like if you want to skip a certain part, or if you just can't wait to get to a certain part. And just enjoy the show.
And if you don't, I will crush you with a rock. That's what I do now. I crush people with rocks. We like to have fun here.
Speaking of the devil himself, John Walker, new Captain America. I'm going to refuse to call him that ever. If I say Captain America, I am referring to Steve fucking Rogers. Okay.
Well, yeah, it seems like they're going to make
not
him,
my Cap.
It seems like he's more in line with U.S. Agent, who was the Cap replacement in the comics.
Yeah,
but at the same
he
time,
has the name of U.S. Agent John Walker.
I like what they're doing with this one, because you can tell that him and the Flag Smashers are supposed to be some of the antagonists they're fighting, and I kind of how in the beginning I liked John a bit more. He wasn't just this asshole, but now he's kind of becoming an asshole.
Yeah, he's
like
in over
that.
His head. He's just a
guy. He's trying to be.
He's the embodiment.
America.
He's the embodiment of white privilege.
Kinda, yeah.
Because it's sure, he's done good stuff. He has accomplishments, but he hasn't had to face that much opposition. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
but
I get that.
That's not what I wanted to get into. So, the actor that plays John Walker, Wyatt Russell.
Yeah.
By the way, son of Kurt Russell. I didn't realize that until I saw it mentioned in a video.
The chin.
Yeah. Now I see it, and of course they do have a lot of resemblance. The chin, the name,
the name, the complexion.
But yeah, Wyatt Russell. I don't know if you've seen a lot of this, but he's been getting death threats.
Oh yeah, no, I heard about that
because people don't like his character. Which he's the bad guy.
Yeah, that's like sending death threats to the guy that plays Baron Zemo because he's playing a Nazi. Well, not really a Nazi.
No, he's not.
It's
a
weird
Nazi.
because of how they did Hydra in this.
Yeah.
In the comics, Hydra is full on neo-Nazis.
Well, he's not even part of Hydra. He just knows a lot about them.
I mean, he's Neo-Hydra. His whole thing is he takes Hydra stuff and he uses it for his own goals and shit.
Yeah.
Which also
ideologically he's not part of Hydra. But yeah, I just wanted to mention don't send actors death threats because you don't like their character.
To be fair, though, you got to remember the crowd you're trying to address this to. It's the same people that sent death threats to the writers of WandaVision because they didn't add the Satan character in.
Oh, yeah.
This past year has made me realize...
sending death threats.
Yeah.
Like, that just seems like the most like crybaby thing that one could ever do.
Children used to do in like the old days of YouTube.
Yeah.
I was gonna say though, it's like this past year though has made me realize how much I just really don't want to be associated with the Marvel fans.
Yeah, why do why do people always have to ruin just liking something?
I mean, I blame Tumblr.
Yeah.
Like a whole lot of like this like overzealous enjoyment of stuff came from over there, especially with like the fucking like super Hulock shit where it's become like lifestyles instead of just enjoying things.
Yeah. I miss that like 5-year period where you could like Marvel unashamedly. Because before that, like if you held a Marvel comic book like just in public or like at school or something,
you get beat up.
you get beat up, you get called a nerd. And then, you know, the MCU, like the Avengers came out and, you know, the MCU gained popularity. And so it was like mainstream. But now like it's harder to like Marvel, because if you say that you're a Marvel fan, a lot of people will just assume that you're like a gatekeeping asshole, or you're like the kind of person that sends death threats to actors.
It's
and
like that
to be
time
fair,
when I wore a fedora.
To be fair, that is a lot of them. So like it's not like coming from nowhere.
Yeah.
I just miss being able
to enjoy things.
I just miss not having to say I'm one of the good ones.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh, the irony.
Like, yeah, now I know how it feels, like you said, to like wear a fedora in public.
Yeah. Know my pain. I stopped. I want to bring back the coat and fedora because I like that look, but it's such a fucking like shit on look now. It's like, nope, never mind.
Yeah.
Fuck enjoying things, I guess.
Yeah. At least people will be nice to you nowadays.
Oh yeah.
Because you don't want to bully the fedora and trench coat kid.
Alex, I'm almost 21. I've got a beard now.
It really ties the whole look together, doesn't it?
Oh, fuck off. Damn. Gonna do me in like that, huh? No, but like fucking like I would okay. So there, you know that meme where it's like the blank fan and then the average blank enjoyer?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's how it feels. It's like the average Marvel fan is like those guys that insult Spider-Man because it's not the Spider-Man they like. And then like the average like Marvel enjoyer is just someone who likes Marvel movies and comics.
Yeah.
It's just like trying to vibe.
It feels like MCU fans are starting to catch up to like DCEU fans or Zack Snyder fans.
Oh, and the level of toxicity.
Yeah. Like it really feels like the level that Zack Snyder fans are at and the level that MCU fans are at, like the gap is closing. Just like the level of insanity.
Yeah. Also, I want to say this. After careful thinking over the movies and stuff, I will admit this, Zack Snyder's movie isn't as bad as Joss Whedon's. However, it is
I feel like we
fucking long for what it is.
Absolutely. I feel like we were very harsh about the movie. Like, I understand, you have very strong opinions on it. I liked it. I had an enjoyable experience watching the Snyder Cut, and I didn't hate it.
My opinion is still it needs to be smaller.
Yeah, it absolutely needs to be cut. Like there are scenes that just don't need to be in it. But like if you cut it down to like 3 hours, absolute like maximum, preferably closer to like 2 hours, you'd have a pretty solid movie.
Yeah.
Bring back like the color palette for the Joss Whedon cut. And then
maybe not too much that, but like in between, because I forgot how much he made a lot of the reds pop out. Like Flash looks horrible in that movie.
Yeah, I guess what I'm saying is just add color, like make the colors more saturated so it doesn't feel like a black and white art piece.
Remove that weird
like an
fucking
art house
Joker
film
part, though. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But remove that Joker
I
part
don't
just entirely. That was so fucking cringy.
Yeah, I wanted to bring this up with you, but did you see the like extended version of that scene?
Yeah, they put "We live in a society" back
We live in a
in.
society. I love it so much. I wish that there was more of that. I want them to lean into that, you know? I just want if we're gonna suffer through that version of the Joker, I think we deserve at least like 1 to 3
movies.
We live in a society lines, you know?
All I'm saying is
have the Joker in a fight with Batman, and Batman's like, wailing on him, and Joker gets the upper hand. Joker gets the upper hand, and he looks Batman in the eye, and he says, "We live in a society."
We live in a society, Bruce. What? I know your name. Oh. Also, I always hate that scene, though. I hate that scene so much because it's supposed to be like everyone knows who he is, but he's still wearing that stupid fucking cowl. You're supposed to be hiding from Superman. Why would you make yourself more recognizable by having the Batman suit still be on?
Look, I respect it.
That's like me hiding from the IRS, but also having my social security number like stapled to my forehead.
Look, as a public figure, oftentimes you have to either be your own brand manager or have a brand manager. And in a post-apocalyptic world, brand managers are hard to come by. So, you gotta do it yourself. You gotta maintain the Batman brand.
I hate that so much, though. But yeah, I will say this. Sorry, DC stands. You might have a point with the Snyder Cut. But I also have a point. I thought Endgame was too long. And I stand by my other decision, which is this movie is too damn long, too.
Endgame is long, but I don't know how much of it feels like it needs to be cut.
I feel like it'd be better
in the Snyder
movies.
Cut, and I don't want to like harp on this for too long. I do want to get into our other topics, as we did already cover the Snyder Cut. But in Endgame, like there weren't a lot of like off the top of my head, having not watched it in a while, I don't think there's a lot that felt like it needed to be cut really as much as there was in the Snyder Cut, because there were entire scenes that were just redundant because the purpose that they serve is repeated in the next scene, like Wonder Woman in the cave learning about Dark Side and the mother boxes. She just immediately passes that information on to Bruce Wayne in the next scene, so we don't need that. But I don't think there was anything like that in Endgame.
Well, no, with Endgame though, it's like the problem that I have with it is that it's so long that you expect much more from it. But like Endgame, it was just like every other Marvel movie. It's good, but it's like it's there's not much
Endgame
more to it.
Is a very different beast than the Snyder Cut, because the Snyder Cut is the 4th movie in this franchise.
Yeah,
and the MCU, it's been compared to a TV series a lot because, that's a very good comparison. The MCU is like a TV series.
Pardon me.
And Endgame is like, it's like a season finale special, like where a TV show will normally be like, a half hour, and then for like a season finale or even like a series finale, you'll get like an hour-long special or like a 2-parter. That's kind of like what Endgame was. So it's okay for it to be longer because it does have to, pay off a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and I get that. I just feel like though it's like,
and it doesn't feel needlessly long, in my opinion.
I just feel like if you're gonna have a really long movie, it's gotta have like more to it.
At least like 60% more punching.
I guess. No, not that. It's just, I don't know. I just feel like what they're doing could also be accomplished in like 1 or 2 movies. Like the same thing with the Snyder Cut, where it's like, it's long, but you can do the same thing with like 1 or 2 movies and it'll still be good. Because I mean, like, look at like Infinity War. Like, it's like the same thing as those two, but it's in the size of a normal movie. It's like 2 hours long. And that one's still one of my favorite Marvel movies.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I agree with you about Endgame like needing to be shorter, or like, you could tell it in multiple parts or whatever, but I mean, at least we can agree that it is the length of a movie.
Yeah. It's like Snyder Cut felt like I was watching like half of the extended Lord of the Rings movies.
Yeah.
To be fair, though, I like Lord of the Rings, but those are also really long. And it's only because they literally just do the books shot for shot. And I feel like that's the worst way to do a comic book thing, is like doing it shot for shot. Because like, oh my god, the length.
Yeah, I've heard good things about the Lord of the Rings director's cuts or extended cuts or whatever they're called.
Well, yeah, because they're faithful to the source, except for the parts they change, in which they add more to it to make it more, like, fun, I guess. But again, if you watch all three of them, you have wasted an entire day watching Lord of the Rings, which is something I do want to do. Well, that's just because Lord of the Rings has been such a huge thing with my childhood. If I never
I wouldn't
saw
mind
Lord
covering
of the
it
Rings,
on the show sometime, but I've never bothered to like learn anything about it beyond like the surface level stuff.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I've seen the movies, but I was young and I wasn't like paying attention, and like I wasn't watching it. Like it was other people around me watching it. So I haven't actually seen the movies for myself.
That's the thing. There's some things in the extended cut that they omitted from the movies because of time, and it makes no sense. Like, for example, the bad wizard Saruman's death is removed from the movies, so he just randomly disappears between 2 and 3.
Yeah, I heard about that one.
Like, it's such a weird change to it, but they do things like that. And then a lot of other things, though, is because, like, they knew no one would get it because it's from the books, and you need to also read another book called the Silmarillion, which is like this fucking Bible, in order to understand. So there's so much, like, extra stuff that you wouldn't know unless you were a huge fan of Lord of the Rings. And I feel like that's why they removed so much of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, though, I wouldn't mind covering like the trilogy or like, splitting up into multiple episodes. But I feel like it's a similar thing to like if you had never seen Star Wars and you just wanted to like watch Star Wars, like it's a huge thing. Like it's like a whole franchise.
Lord of the Rings
just
is
learn
the
all at
Star
once.
Wars of fantasy, except it stopped when it was the 3 good movies.
Well, Star Wars The Hobbit, is the Star Wars of fantasy.
No, I mean like full on like classic fantasy, not sci-fi fantasy.
Like medieval style.
Yeah,
like swords
D&D
and magic
shit.
and stuff.
Like the way to look at it is like Star Wars is like Pathfinder, which is sci-fi D&D, and then like
Star Wars,
Lord of the Rings.
The point
is just
that I'm
normal
making,
D&D.
though, this is like a misconception that a lot of people like have, and like it doesn't bother me a lot, but it bothers me enough like to notice it, I guess. Like Star Wars is like often described as sci-fi, but really it's just fantasy set in space.
Oh yeah, but I mean that's what a lot of that's a genre, sci-fi fantasy, but that's like what a lot of that stuff is, though. It's like if you like actual sci-fi is more or less like 2001: A Space Odyssey, or like half the horror movies set in sci-fi like settings.
Yeah,
because it's like it's technological advancements and shit, and then usually met with like some kind of weird threat. So it's a hard like thing to really settle on, and everyone just says, "Oh, space sci-fi." Yeah,
it's a weird thing to define. Like I don't know like the dictionary definition for sci-fi.
It's like a future. It's like something that takes place in the distant future, where
Star Wars takes place in the distant past.
Yeah. Actually, Star Wars takes place in the past, so it can't be science fiction.
No, like what I'm saying though with it is like Star Wars, though, it's more in line with fantasy because of all the things that they do. It's like the classic Knights of the Round Table story kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's like there's even an old wizard that teaches the hero how to use the magic sword he's got and shit.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm saying too. But
yeah, that's basically just Pathfinder though.
Yeah, I do have the Lord of the Rings trilogy on DVD. I have it all on my Plex server.
That's the classic one. That's the theatrical cut. That's what I got too.
I want to get the extended ones though.
Yeah, if you get the extended ones, I can rip them, or I can show you how to rip them and put them on Plex, so we can.
You might have to
watch them and do a review.
Oh wait, I just remembered I got that laptop from you. I do have a disc tray.
Yeah, we should do that.
Yeah, we can talk more about that later.
Yeah, let's get back to the show. The tangent is over.
Another thing that I want to do coming up in the next few episodes is I want to cover as sort of like a palate cleanser after doing the Snyder Cut. I want to do an episode on like a review for the 1966 Batman movie.
Yeah, I think I've seen that one. It's the animated one, right?
It's not the animated one. That was made.
Oh, you're talking about the 2017
one. The classic one. Yeah.
Oh, hell
yeah. The new one that they made, that one's pretty good. I have seen it. But yeah, the classic one, I want to do that as sort of a palate cleanser. And I do think we're removed enough from it that like people people shat on it for a while. Like it was like cool to shit on Adam West Batman.
Yeah.
But like I feel like the pendulum has like swung the other way, where it's like, I get it, Batman's dark and gritty. Like, can we just have, a happy one? And I think this might be the perfect time to revisit Batman the movie, 1966.
It's like Adam West Batman gets shit on way too much for it to be like not a good thing to talk about.
Yeah,
because
Adam West did not get the love he deserved playing Batman. And like,
I love that stuff. It's so fucking...
Like at the time, people were like, "Oh, what the fuck is this?" The Batman's not, goofy like this. Well, in the comics, Batman was doing some pretty goofy stuff, but yeah, the general like reaction was like, Batman's not silly. And then we got The Dark Knight Returns as like the, a reaction to that.
The Dark Knight Returns his library books. That's the thing. It's not The Dark Knight Returns that happened. It was actually the Michael Keaton Batman.
Oh, did that come out before The Dark Knight Returns?
Yeah, I believe
really?
so. Because like Dark Knight Returns, that's the one based off of the I think it's an Alan Moore book where it's Batman as an old man and shit. I think that one came out in like I gotta check again. Because I know Keaton one came first, because that was when they started to do more gritty Batman, and they wanted it to be more mainstream shit. Let me look up Dark Knight Returns date. Like you're talking about the movie, right? Or you're talking about the book?
No, I'm talking about the book. The comic, The Dark Knight Returns.
86.
Yeah, the Michael Keaton movie came out in 1989. Yeah, and The Dark Knight Returns came out in 1986.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about the movie. Yeah, no, that one did come out then. Also, I could have sworn they had more darker stuff before Dark Knight Returns.
Well, yeah, the Batman's like origins was like, kind of like gritty 1930s, 1940s detective stuff, but with like a bat theme, like he carried a gun and stuff like that. So Batman started out
with a gun.
Batman started out
rule.
Actually, there's an interesting NerdSync video that I watched on what exactly his one rule is. I'll link it in the description if I can remember. Hopefully I do. I've been binging a lot of their old stuff. But anyway, like Batman started off fairly dark, and then the Comics Code Authority was like cracking down on, violence and stuff like that in comics.
That's when Golden Age happened.
Yeah, that's when you get like really goofy stuff. That's when you get like the Joker as more of like a prankster than like a serial killer.
And now he cut off his own face.
Yeah, very, very edgy stuff.
Very in line with the character. Hey, Batman, I took my face and now I made it into a mask. Isn't that funny? But Batman's just vomiting in the corner.
You just don't get my dark humor.
You just don't get my dark humor, Bruce.
But my point, though, was that yeah, Adam West got shit on a lot for being a goofier Batman, but then I guess his retribution came in the form of like he
dying.
was no, Jared. That happened many years later.
That was his retribution. It was payment.
no, like in return for being shit on that much, he did get to become like the superhero.
Yeah,
like
everyone loves Adam West.
He was the guy you would get if you were doing a show that featured a superhero.
Yeah.
Like even Goosebumps brought him in for an episode. Unfortunately, it was their worst episode.
Wasn't it like the Toxic Man one or whatever it's called? Like,
it was
a mutant or some shit.
Yeah, it was some variation of the word mutant. It was a horrible episode.
One. But that's why it's so good. I loved that episode. Not even, I had the book too. It was such a weird episode.
It's not even like bad in a fun way. Like
I know this episode from heart, so I can explain to the viewers what it is. So this fat kid who likes comic books is like on the bus and he sees like this weird building and he's like, I recognize that from my comic book.
I gotta pause you for a second because like I know that you know the whole plot.
Yeah.
But to be fair, it's a 2-part episode, right?
Yeah. And I can summarize it in 5 seconds.
The plot can be summarized in like 2 minutes. Like literally, like we talk about like the Snyder Cut, like, oh, you got to cut that down. This episode could have been told in 5 minutes.
You know how
because there's so many scenes where just nothing happens. It's not suspenseful. It's just boring.
Well, that's the thing. The reason why it's like that is because in the comics, you want to know what they're doing in those scenes? They're just talking about Archie and why it's not a real comic and shit. It's such a stupid book.
Is it a Ready Player One situation?
Kind of. It's like the fat kid that's the main character. I don't know if he's fat in the show, but like it was a plot point. It was like, oh, he's this fat kid, so he's not fast. That's why he's a fat kid in the show. Okay, I don't remember. It's been like 6 years or 7. It's longer than that probably since I saw Goosebumps. But
yeah, I watched it like in the last couple months
every day.
I remember it being not as horrible as it was.
Oh yeah, that introspective. But no, it's like he meets this girl who likes comics too, and they're like they're chatting and stuff. And it's like a boy meet girl story. Also, the plot twist at the end is she's actually the mutant, the big like on the cover of the book, and also in the movie in the show is like the mutant is like this fucking like jacked guy in power armor looking shit, and that's this little girl.
The takeaway is that girls that like comic books. No, the takeaway is that girls that like comics do not exist.
Yeah, they're monsters.
If you meet a girl and she likes comics, or God forbid she knows more about comics than you, she is secretly a comic book bad guy in disguise, and she will kill you.
I just realized this is why gatekeeping's such a problem.
I think we found the source. No, the kid even does that. He gatekeeps in the episode.
Like, Archie's not a real comic book. You can't enjoy that. And like that's every chapter as they're talking, and she's like, I like this comic. I think it's good. He's like, that's not a real comic. Where's the superheroes? And it's like this kid's a little asshole. You want him to get beat up so bad.
Yeah. I feel like movies are starting to like mirror comic books in that it's like such a superhero dominated medium that it's gonna become like if the trend keeps going this way, it's gonna be like, oh, this movie doesn't have superheroes in it, it's not a real movie.
This isn't a real movie. Where is Superman?
Now granted, I honestly don't think it's going to become that big of a deal, but I feel like it's going to happen with someone, and like at least one person is going to say that like at some point in the future, and that worries me.
It's the future. It's not the one we fought for, but it's the one we're gonna get.
It's the future liberals want.
Oh my god. But yeah, no, that story though, I remember it vividly because it was my favorite book at the time because it was comic book related and I loved comics. And then rereading it when I was in like, I think I was in middle school because I was like, oh, this is a good book. I'll read it again. I just like sat down. I was like, what the fuck, man? What the hell? What has Steven got against Archie? They fucking killed Archie in one of the comics. They fucking shoot him. Like, don't tell me Archie's not a real comic book. It's got more crossovers with the Predator than fucking Batman or Judge Dredd does.
Don't mess with us comic fans. We fucking hate comics.
Yeah, basically. Speaking about Archie though, those ones are wild because they start off as like it's like a Saved by the Bell story, and then they get like the spinoffs where it's like Archie meets Batman, and it's like brutal, edgy Batman and shit. Like my favorite one is Archie versus the Predator. I've never read it, but I want to because the idea is the Predator is in the fucking I forgot the name of it. But it's in the town Archie lives in, and it's hunting people, and Archie and pals have to kill it. And it's like
Santa's sleigh.
Yeah. So it's like, it's like Predator 2, except instead of it being like a bunch of cops that have like no idea what they're dealing with, it's a bunch of shitty teenagers and a guy that eats burgers too much.
That reminds me of
kill an alien bounty hunter.
That reminds me of like when the Scooby-Doo gang did a crossover with Batman.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I want them to do that again. I want them to do that exact episode, but with current Batman. The Batman that will remove your ankles if you jaywalk.
It's like, I am here to spook you. Just breaks the guy's arm in half. Where is she? Oh God. Yeah, I always wanted to see though is what was it? The Batman and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover, but with like the same edginess that the movies have.
Oh God.
Or like the Elmer Fudd crossover. You just adapt that entirely onto the big screen.
Hold on, Elmer Fudd did a crossover with Batman.
Oh, you haven't heard about this? I thought I told you. No, okay, so what happened?
Okay, I think I remember you telling me about it, but
it's
my memory is very hazy.
Elmer Fudd is like this backwoods guy who's like, he's like a hunter and he's got the same outfit on and everything. He looks just like Elmer Fudd, except like more like a human being with a baby face. So Elmer Fudd though, his wife is killed by an unknown entity that he thinks is Batman. God.
I'm looking at the illustrations right now. It is so
good.
Oh my God. There's one where Elmer Fudd, spoiler alert, shoots Batman with a shotgun.
Yeah, because he goes on this rampage. He wants to go and like kill Batman because he thinks Bruce Wayne's responsible. So like Batman teams up with like, Bruce Wayne's not the one who killed your wife, but we'll find him. And so like they go into like this portion, I forget what it's called. It's like but it's like where the Looney Tunes live and they're all like drug dealers and shit. So Batman and Elmer Fudd team up and they there's a scene where like they go to this bar. They're looking for Bugs Bunny and they just beat the living shit out of Sylvester.
Jared, I want more than anything in this world for the next DC animated movie to be this crossover. Okay, I'm looking at one of the panels. And it's Batman, he's holding Elmer Fudd, he's, towering over him, and there's dialogue. This is a short snippet from this is a reading of Batman Elmer Fudd, special number 1. I know she loved Bruce Wayne, and he loved her. And when he found out she was with me, he killed her. So I killed him. I don't know why that became JFK, but just seeing Elmer Fudd's dialogue written out with his fucking baby talk, being interrogated by Batman. It's the crossover I never knew I desperately wanted.
My favorite one is this of this scene. It's them in the rain, like they're cracking their knuckles. Batman's with them, and it's just Elmer Fudd's thoughts. It's, my name is Elmer Fudd. He's Batman. And it's just them standing in the rain brooding.
Very quiet.
We're
hunting
Batman.
criminals.
I think he says something like that, a variation of that one point right before he shoots someone.
I'm going to show you. I'm going to send a picture of one of the, I think it looks like one of the covers, or it might be like the first page. It's got like, the credits. But let me send you this. Look at the title. The title, Pray for Me.
Pray for Me. It's so good. This is the kind of shit people don't tell you about that you just find on your own on accident. I was on Facebook and someone made a joke about, remember that time Elmer Fudd executed Bruce Wayne? I was like, what are you talking about? And then they introduced this beautiful, beautiful comic book to me called Batman Elmer Fudd.
I'm so glad that those obscure crossovers exist, because it just adds fuel to those like conspiracy boards about how like every show is connected.
Yeah. My favorite thing about this though is like this takes place in like the same universe as Batman teaming up with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So like it's just it's so good.
Yeah, it's like how like the Power Rangers are only like 2 to 3 degrees of separation away from Batman.
Yeah.
Because like the Power Rangers did a crossover with the Ninja Turtles, and then the Ninja Turtles did a crossover with Batman, right? And then Batman did a crossover with Elmer Fudd. Looney Tunes and the Power Rangers exist in the same universe.
Dude,
but wait a second, Batman crossed over with Scooby-Doo. Scooby-Doo crossed over with fucking everyone. So that means that Power Rangers exist in the same universe as the Harlem Globetrotters.
Yes. No, that's the thing though, Alex. With Super Sentai and like Kamen Rider and shit like that, the original versions in Japan are like
Super
darker.
Sentai was inspired by Japanese Spider-Man. That's just so
like, but that's the thing.
There's
in
only
Japan,
like a
it's
couple
always
degrees
darker,
of separation.
So.
There's only a couple of degrees of separation between like Batman and Spider-Man, but the route that you get there is so weird.
Oh. Anyways, we had topics for this episode.
As we approach the hour mark, do you want to cover the Amazon thing?
Yeah, so Amazon was being little shitty shitters a little while ago.
Amazon, this is an open letter to Amazon. Dear Amazon, do you think you're being slick or something? What the fuck are you doing? Sincerely, the Bold of You to Say podcast.
Yeah. But no, it's like Amazon, though. The things that I remember reading about them for the past few weeks have been like they're trying to like stop their workers from unionizing and shit. And they've been making like articles and shit talking about how it's a bad idea to do that.
Huge anti-union company.
Yeah. And they've been hiding like information. Like they've been keeping it from the I guess the press is the word. Though I hate using that word. But they're talking about how like, no, our employees, they love working with us, as they're like protesting in fucking, was it Texas or Arizona?
Oh yeah.
And
yeah. And like we've had like a lot of like evidence of Amazon being anti-union for a while. Like it's old news to talk about like the creepy Orwellian anti-union like propaganda videos that they put out.
Yeah.
But if you haven't seen it, I'll link at least one of them, maybe like an article or something, I don't know, in the description if you haven't seen what I'm talking about, because it is really creepy.
It's weird as fuck, man.
It's weird. It's just like weird is the only way I can describe it. But sorry to interrupt.
Oh no, you're good. But so like one of the things that they were saying like they don't do is like our employees, they have the best quality everything. They don't pee in bottles or anything like that. And one of my favorite things that happened is they've revealed that they've made like a whole thing where they're like, we're sorry for our workers. They do pee in bottles, and it's like, wow, okay. Glad to know that cat's finally out of the bag.
Amazon has been weird, like in the public eye lately.
Yeah, Jeff Bezos, he's trying to cover up the fact he killed a kid, I guess, or something.
Yeah, like if you haven't heard it, like if you've been living under a rock for the past couple weeks, Amazon workers, like their drivers, like they're put into positions where they have to like shit in a bag or piss in a bottle because they have, like, even if they do get a break, like if they take that break to go to the bathroom, they're gonna like fall behind on their quotas and stuff, and their rating will fall and they'll get fired. So they have no choice but to like shit in a bag. And then like one worker got in trouble for doing that, and like it came out like all kinds of workers, like in the warehouses and stuff, like they have to like piss in bottles. And you know, that's been the big thing lately. And Amazon, they have a news account on Twitter, which I just found out, like, you know, from the peeing in bottles thing. Like, but why does Amazon have a news Twitter account? Like
it's
like
weird.
when I saw Amazon News, I was like, you mean the Wall Street Journal? Like seriously though, Jeff Bezos owns the Wall Street Journal. So why would he have an Amazon News account? Because like it's going to be the same thing that the Wall Street Journal puts out. Or is it the Washington Post? It's one of the W papers. It could be
either of them. I don't look into those ones because I know they're always
it's the
like
Washington
stupid
Post,
shit.
I believe.
Like I don't like news online because half the time it's always proven false like a day later.
Yeah, but like if Jeff Bezos was gonna put out news to support his actions or his company's actions, why not just have the Washington Post do it?
I don't know. So maybe because he doesn't think everyone knows that they own that. You know, maybe he does it on that one, and it's like Washington Post comes and supports. It's like, yeah, it turns out they were right the whole time, kind of thing.
I mean, like, know.
That's what I used to do with my like 37 accounts. I used to just support myself on YouTube. Be like, yeah, this is how I think things should work, and it's like, yeah, this is great.
That is exactly what the Amazon News account is. Actually, the Amazon News account is like the corporate version of liking your own comment.
Nah, I just do that unironically with my own main account. I don't give a shit. Fuck you.
But yeah, so like you were saying before, Amazon came out and said like, yeah, we're sorry that we put our workers in a position where they have to pee in bottles. But that was like 2 days after the Amazon News account, which must have been run by like a rogue intern or something, just because of like the way that like it felt very Trumpian, the way that the language that was used in the tweets, like the tweet itself. Let me actually see if I can find it real quick so I can read it word for word. Yep. So this is Amazon News replying to Representative Mark Pocan, talking about, so Representative Mark Pocan tweeted, paying workers $15 an hour doesn't make you a progressive workplace when you union bust and make union or when you make workers urinate in water bottles. Talking about, Amazon like claiming to be a progressive news or a progressive workplace. And Amazon News replied, "You don't really believe the peeing in bottles thing, do you? If that were true, nobody would work for us. The truth is that we have over 1 million incredible employees around the world who are proud of what they do and have great wages and healthcare from day one."
Oh yeah.
And then there's like a second part to that. "We hope you can enact policies that get other employers to offer what we already do." And it's like the fucking nerve. Yeah. To say that. And like I've seen like video like on TikTok. I saw this one. This girl was like reading Amazon News's tweet, the one that I just read. It was like reading Amazon News tweets like your boyfriend that gaslights you. Because that's really what it is. It's Amazon trying to gaslight us. You don't really believe the peeing in bottles thing, do you?
Yeah.
Okay, our workers pee in bottles. You don't really believe that. You would be crazy if you believed that. You should doubt your own perception.
You little fucker.
You should doubt your own senses. You crazy little thing. What do you mean I'm gaslighting you? Gaslighting isn't real. You made it up because you're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently Amazon, I guess, apologized for that.
But they never fixed it either. Like, the workers are probably still peeing in bottles.
I bet you $10 right here, right now.
Yeah, they're apologizing for the tweet. They're not apologizing for their working conditions.
Like, they're still gonna have those people doing shit.
You know, did you see the clip of John Oliver on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon?
I don't think so.
What's the clip?
John Oliver went on the Tonight Show with one of the Jimmys, specifically Fallon.
One of the Jimmys,
aka the man who laughs. So I think they were talking about Amazon, but John Oliver was like, like obviously like talking like through the TV, like, Alexa, what are the working conditions like at Amazon? And stuff like that. And Jimmy Fallon was like, hey, let's not do that. Okay. Let's not do anything that'll get sponsors to pull their ads. Okay. Alexa, stop. Please.
Alexa,
stop.
Please stop. God damn.
Yeah, that wiped out any residual respect I had left for Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon, isn't he the guy that was going on about like
what was it? There's something, I forget what it was, a few months ago after Biden got in, and he was all like, "Oh, you sound like Trump now," because someone was posting valid criticism.
Him. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably why I haven't seen it.
His respect died a long time ago.
Yeah, Jimmy Fallon's like relevance died out at the end of the Obama era.
His relevance died out at the end of the Trump era because now he can't make fun of the orange man.
He loved to do Trump impression, like his Trump impression on the show, but it wasn't good. It wasn't a good impression. Like, most Donald Trump impressions aren't good, but his was bad.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing though, is like, I feel like some of these people, like, they just sensationalized the dumb shit he said just because they thought it was funny, and now it's like, yeah. Okay, good for you.
Jimmy Fallon was like, obviously him and all the late night Jimmys loved to trash him, and for good reason.
The boys,
he's awful. Yeah. But it really, like, it's obvious that the amount that he trashed Donald Trump was just an apology for, platforming him when he was running for president and just allowing him to say what he thinks on his show.
Yeah.
Because he had him on as a guest, and Saturday Night Live did this too. They both shows had him on as a guest and just allowed him to be Donald Trump. Like, they just allowed him to like embody his horrible ideas and express them.
Well, and like the idea is like have no soul.
Well, I guess the idea is like, oh, no one's going to listen to him. And then enough people did listen to him. But also they like allowed Trump to be like silly, and they like humanized him.
They allowed him to be silly. And
like the Hotline Bling sketch on SNL where it's Trump dancing. It's like, oh, he's just a goofy guy, he's not gonna, end many, many lives through his actions and inactions.
Yeah.
look at this funny war criminal. It's like when people try to humanize Bush.
Yeah. Oh God, absolutely.
Yeah, it's like when like Ellen or Elton John will be like, oh, why can't we just be friends? You know, we should go to baseball games with war criminals. You know, we shouldn't demonize people just because of their political beliefs or the number of people that they've locked up extrajudicially, you know?
Yeah.
You know, we can't just refuse to be friends with someone simply because they ran a torture program. God, I fucking hate blue checkmark liberals.
Yeah. Man, Twitter just exists to have either like really good memes or just really terrible like fucking what's the word I'm looking for? Damn it, takes. There you go. They just have like really bad takes.
Yeah, back to the whole Amazon thing though.
Yeah, this
so
is
yeah,
just,
not only is there not only is there the Amazon news account, but there's also like a lot of there's like a lot of workers that are like being used by Amazon to either like spread anti-union messages or to defend the company or both.
Yeah.
Or they'll just be like bot accounts or like accounts that were just created.
Yeah.
But like Amazon, like I don't know if you saw this, Amazon has a real program that their workers can join where they get paid, or they either get paid to do this or they just can do it during work hours, but they'll be paid to like just tweet all day about how great Amazon is and like argue with people about unionizing.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a real program that it's
Man,
public
I'm so
knowledge.
Happy Amazon is not biased towards themselves.
Yeah, it reminds me of like the CIA has determined that the CIA played no part in, you know, whatever South American coup.
Those are always funny to me.
Honestly, pick a South American coup and chances are the US had some involvement in it.
Oh, what about
if not just orchestrated the whole thing?
What about Hotel Rwanda? Was that a coup or was that just a slaughter?
That was more of like a race war.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because it's the Tutsis.
I think it would be considered a coup.
Yeah. I know UN was there, but like was there any outside sources for it, or was it just a bunch of racists?
No, I think it was
the CIA gave them guns.
Granted, I don't know a lot about the situation. I've only seen the movie with Don Cheadle. But as far as I know, it was racially motivated.
Okay. Don Cheadle?
He's got like the best last name for a Cheetos guy. Dude should totally go over and do some of that shit. Just like, hey, I'm Don Cheeto. I'm here to tell you about cheese puffs.
Don Cheeto? You mean the old former president? Got him.
Hey Al, how you doing? It's not Al anymore. It's Dunk. Dunkachino. Dunkachino.
So yeah, Amazon. In conclusion, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing, Amazon?
Amazon, in conclusion, go fuck yourself.
Who are you trying to fool?
Yeah.
Who are you trying to convince with this?
Your mothers.
I've seen ads on YouTube, where it's like Amazon workers that are like, you know, I don't want to unionize because I get so many great benefits and I don't want to pay union dues.
Name one.
You know, I get to work for the greatest company in the world, and I get to go home to my family every night and know that they're safe because I'm not attempting to form a union.
I know that my family are safe because the Amazon assassins are. Oh no, they're getting me now. He said too much. Remove. Yeah. Message to Amazon from me, the mightiest being of them all. Go fuck yourselves. Not the workers, but just Jeff Bezos. I want you to just grab like a pile of like forklifts and just have them ram into you a few times, and then maybe we'll talk.
Yeah. All right. Now, do you want to get into the recommendations of the week?
Yeah, let's do some. All right.
Awesome. Do you have any to add before we get into it? If you think of anything, just add it as a bullet point.
Yeah, I'll just add it in. You do your recommendations. If I think of something, I'll throw it in.
All right. Yeah, so the first recommendation of the week is there's a couple of games that I've been playing for the past couple weeks, basically since the last episode we did. So first off, Unrailed, it's on Steam, it's on Switch, probably on PlayStation and Xbox. I don't know, but I think it's on all platforms. So yeah, it's like the style, like the same art style as Crossy Roads, where it's like a sort of like a top-down thing, but like it's got that kind of like cartoony, like blockish kind of art style. And the premise is, you gotta like collect resources on the map, and like there's a train, and you gotta keep placing tracks so the train doesn't crash. I'll have a link to the store page. I'll have the link to the store page down in the description. Just check it out. I completely recommend it, especially if it's on sale. Like it goes on sale for like $10 or so sometimes. And yeah, I totally recommend it. Next up, virtual reality. That's available on Steam. It's available on Oculus. It's a VR game where it's kind of like VR worlds within VR worlds. And it falls into my favorite genre of game, where it's like what seems to be like a simple like puzzle game or something of that nature, but then you like, and it's like run by robots, and you realize pretty early on that everything isn't as it seems. Sort of like a Portal or like Budget Cuts. Like that kind of vibe.
Good vibe.
Yeah, but the theme is like, virtual reality. And I'll have a link to the Steam store page to that one also in the description. Definitely check it out. I'll try not to like, I won't like spoil it or anything, but yeah, definitely check it out because, I'd say it's worth the money. It's pretty cheap. It's like $15. Especially if it goes on sale, definitely pick it up. It's a fun one. There's a couple of different endings that you can get, and it's just a cool game.
Question: does the game have a dog in it?
No.
All right, that also answers question 2 then.
Next recommendation of the week. I saw a video from a new channel, Why Jerry Seinfeld's Wrong About Political Correctness. This video is specifically what the recommendation is, but the channel
still a thing.
Well, the show Seinfeld isn't like it hasn't been on for the past 20 years, but
I mean, like
Jerry
is
Seinfeld
like alive is what I'm trying to ask. Without being rude,
he's not that old. He's only like in his 60s.
Yeah, but like, no offense to stand-up comedians, but their life expectancy is the same as like old people in the Middle Ages. 39.
No, he's one of the boring ones, so he gets to live longer. He's not like a Mitch Hedberg.
What? Bless you.
Mitch Hedberg is a really funny comedian from like the 90s, I believe. But yeah, he was a great one, but he was also very into drugs, so he died quite young.
Yeah, that'll get you.
But yeah, this video is about Jerry Seinfeld and like, you know how he generally doesn't like PC culture, like political correctness.
No, again, I thought he was dead after Seinfeld finished airing. I thought that's the reason why they stopped airing Seinfeld.
Okay, so for you and the listener, if the listener does not know, Jerry Seinfeld, he like throws hissy fits about how like, oh, I'm not gonna play at college campuses anymore because they're so sensitive and they're all politically correct. And it's like, yeah, that's why they're not booking you.
Who's asking for Jerry Seinfeld?
Like, as if they could afford you.
The guy makes airplane jokes boring.
He charges like $100,000 at minimum for an appearance, something like that. But
God,
yeah, this video
disgusting.
From this channel titled "We're in Hell." I just discovered them. You know, their content. Well, I didn't discover them. I discovered them in the sense that Columbus discovered America. I found it for myself. Other people have already enjoyed his content very much. But yeah, I've been watching a lot of his videos, and he has one about he has one titled Ricky Gervais and Liberal Hypocrisy, sort of a deep dive into Ricky Gervais and like his whole thing. Yeah, I like Ricky sometimes, and then other times he just says one more word that just completely ruins what he's trying to say. Yeah, he's like if a Fedora was a person. Like, sometimes I agree with him, like his whole thing, or like how like all these like people who win Oscars, they go on these speeches, but then they'll never like do anything with them. Like they just say like, here's something you should be aware of, and then they'll never give money to it or anything or support it. Yeah, well, to be fair, Ricky Gervais is a strong supporter of like animal rights organizations, and he does donate a lot of money to them. Yeah, but then he's also like J.K. Rowling levels of terrible. Oh yeah, he did defend J.K. Rowling like when she like came out as a TERF. Don't even say her name right. Or am I saying it right? I don't know. Her name's fucking stupid. I don't think there's a correct way to pronounce it. JK, your name is dumb, and I'm blaming it all because you're British. He also has one titled The Conservative Comedy, in air quotes, of Steven Crowder featuring the Surfs. He has a video titled A Deep Dive into Down to Earth with Zac Efron. It's about a show that Zac Efron did where he like travels the world and raises awareness about climate change while also being like low-key really disrespectful to indigenous cultures. I mean, it's Disney. It's just, it's Zac Efron being an adorable himbo alongside this guy that just is the worst. Oh yeah? Yeah, I'll have a link to his channel in the description. He doesn't have that many videos so far, but definitely, I'd say they're all worth a watch. I like his content a lot, and I think it should be supported. Yeah, no, he sounds fun. Yeah. I'll link it all in the description. His name is Hell on Earth or Hell World. No, it's We're in Hell. Oh, Hell World is the Shoe on Head series. That's right. So many things have the word hell in it. Yeah. So, Jared, do you have a recommendation this week? Yeah, I don't know if it's still available. I was going to recommend it last week, but if you live around a board game shop or like just anywhere where you can buy tabletop shit. Or if you have access to Amazon. I guess. No, I don't think you can get this one on Amazon. Oh. You might be able to get it on their website still, gamesworkshop.com. But go out and try to find, if you're a Warhammer fan of like either fantasy or sci-fi, doesn't matter which one, go and find White Dwarf Article 462. Because what they're doing with that one is they did a cool thing. It is a $6 magazine that also comes with 12 free games for Steam. And most of these games are actually really fucking good games. Chiefly being like where is it? It's the fucking Vermintide. Yeah, Vermintide 2. And also, so you said this is a $6 magazine? Yeah. It has 12 free games, all of them coming out to like, I think the price was like 100 and something. And it also gives you a special offer deal thing. Like, I think it's 75% off for their new game they released called Warhammer 40k Space Marine Gladius, I think. Yeah. And it's just, really good deal. You get a first article of White Dwarf if you haven't done any of those, and those are usually fun things, talking about the hobby and stuff. It also comes with the updated booklet that talks about the new point systems, the prices for all the army deployments and stuff.
which is just rules for Warhammer, the game, and stuff like that. So
that's awesome.
If you're not into the game, you don't need it, but it's nice to have it for me and Ryan, for example, our friend Ryan. We do a lot of playing. Like, he's got his own army, I've got my own army, and we play that game a lot. So getting that is nice to have, so we can actually do the up-to-date points.
Yeah. No, I wish I was into Warhammer now, because $6 for 12 games.
No, dude, like, you can go out to our local game store is GT Games. I don't know if you got one, but if you're
in the Traverse City area, listener, if you're in the Traverse City area, go to GT Games, local small business game shop. They do all kinds of like retro stuff, like Atari, all the way up to like current stuff. They also do Warhammer stuff. It's check them out on Facebook. Look up GT Games or Grand Traverse Games.
They've got a pretty good selection. I will say this, though, they have been having problems getting their shipments in because Games Workshop is kind of stupid like that. So just be warned. They do have more stuff usually.
If you're gonna do any game related commerce, do it there. Don't go to GameStop. Go to GT Games.
GT Games, I will say this,
so much better.
They have so much better stuff. They have better people. One of the cool things about it, though, I recommend if you do go to GT Games, viewers, and also you, Alex, ask them about their GT Games shirts. They have them on sale in the tabletop section, which is another building connected to them. And you can see them in this display case. So you have 4 different types of designs. And the cool thing about them is they actually have an enchantment on them. That's a joke. But no, if you wear their shirts into the store, you do get a discount on some items. I think on most days, the tabletop shit is like 5% off when you're wearing it. And then on like event days, it's 10% off. So just like keep that in mind. You don't want to wear it during event days.
Well, that's awesome.
It's a really nice shirt to have, too. It's what I got to get a lot of the big guys I have.
Nice.
But they have good prices for like there's resale and stuff.
By the way, we also have a similar program running where if you wear our merch, if you wear a Muscle Rock shirt, this podcast is 60% off. So act now, get yourself a shirt, get a Muscle Rock shirt, get whatever new designs we've added since this episode's release.
But yeah, no, so please check out that article, though. It's a great deal. Gives you some good shit. I don't know how long the article's going to be out. I got mine last month, so it's probably too late. I'm just going to give you a warning. But if you can find it, I recommend picking it up because the games they have are great. I've played most of them. Some of them are a bit on the quality side, but a lot of them are really fucking good. I know a game I've been playing a lot of is Vermintide 2. And another game I just love from it is Space Marine. But that one's mostly dead when it comes to the servers. But it's still a fantastic game to get. It's one of the best third-person shooters I've seen for like the whole hack and slash genre.
Yeah, they also have a VR game, the Warhammer series.
I'm afraid that's not in there. It's only just some of their games from Steam.
Yeah, but, I don't think it is. But if you're a Warhammer fan, listener, check out the VR game. If you have a Quest or an Index, if you have an Index,
what are you doing?
What's it like
man?
being rich?
Yeah.
What's it like having disposable income?
I wish I had an Index. Those things sound fucking awesome. When you hear.
Yeah, it's good. It's
features.
It definitely is $1,000 headset. I will say.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually got my finger tracking to work on my Oculus 2 the other day, and it was actually kind of cool. Sadly, none of the games can work with it.
There's one. Let me look at my library to see what the name of it is. But it's like a puzzle game, but you can use hand tracking. And
that's cool.
Yeah, it's not like that fully featured, but it is like a nice like tech demo. You gotta like solve little puzzles and you can use hand tracking for it. I think it's like Hand Physics Lab. Hold on. Yep, Hand Physics Lab. I think it actually just got released on the official Oculus store. I believe before that it was on SideQuest.
Oh yeah?
But yeah, you, Jared, and you, the listener, check it out. It's a cool little thing. You can like draw with markers and stuff, and you can play Jenga. There's like finger painting. It's pretty cool. I haven't done a lot of it, but I showed it to my mom, and she had fun with it. She wants to get a quest for herself.
That'd be cool. Playing with your mom in VR chat.
Yeah. No, she likes it, but it like terrifies her. Like I showed her Richie's plank experience, the one where you're like in an elevator and there's like a plank.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, she would not leave the elevator.
Oof, I wouldn't blame her.
I know some of those VR games, they terrify the shit out of me too.
Yeah. You've seen the videos where like people jump into their TVs.
Yeah. I almost did that the other day with my TV.
Really?
Yeah, fucking you lose yourself in the game sometimes and you forget where you are, and then next thing you know you've punched your mom out.
Oh yeah, that's why you gotta be mindful about your guardian.
Yeah, I try to be, but sometimes I'm a little overzealous.
Yeah, and sometimes you punch her.
I'm in my room in which it's like, oh my god, that's wrong guardian.
But yeah, I guess that's a fourth recommendation of the week. But no,
Alex's
I don't
mom.
Oh no, that's not what I'm saying.
Oh, I think I've misread everything we've done here.
Hand Physics Lab, fourth recommendation of the week. Check it out. But yeah, no, I get scared by stuff in VR, but like not like heights or anything like that because I'm used to it at this point. But like just like there's a certain part in like there are a couple parts in virtual reality where it's like a dark room and there's like a robot in there with you, and like just that kind of thing like terrifies
you don't like jump
me.
Scares?
Yeah, like there weren't any jump scares in the game really, but like I always feel like there's going to be with just so many games. Like other than like Rec Room or VR Chat, or even sometimes with VR Chat, honestly, it like I feel like there's about to be a jump scare because I just get so immersed in it. That's how it is with Half-Life Alyx. Like all of the bad guys like scare me because it's like they're right there.
Half-Life you're scared of it.
Half-Life me. Half-Life Alyx.
Half-Life Alyx.
Half-Life Alyx.
Ooh, Mr. Freeman.
The
man in the wrong place at the right time can make all of the difference.
Can you imagine if that's what happened? Catboy G-Man.
So anyway,
hello,
I think that's the
Mr.
show.
Freeman. Wake up and smell the roses.
Oh, ashes. No, it's ashes.
Awishes.
That was...
So I think that's everything.
That's show tunes, baby. Oh no, showbiz.
Yeah, that's show. And no, that's show tunes.
Yeah, fuck you. We're show tunes now.
We're a show tunes podcast.
We are just all show tunes. The all-seeing, never-ending sound of "Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey." Just on repeat forever.
Yes. So anyway, thank you, listener, for listening to Bold of You to Say. If this is your first time here, thanks for giving us a listen. Check out some more of our episodes. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. If you like what we do here, check out our merch store on TeePublic. There's a donation link at the bottom of the description. Send us $1. Follow us on social media. That'll all be linked down below. Follow us on Twitter. Follow me on TikTok. Send Jared a friend request on Steam or
respective
Xbox.
platforms.
Yeah. Share the show with a friend. Tweet out our clips. The link to our clips channel will be down in the description. So go check those out and share them. Tweet them out. Get more eyes and ears on the show. If you're listening on YouTube, leave a comment with anything you disagreed with us on. Any thoughts that you have? If there were any parts where you're like, hey, I think you were right about this. Tell us. If not, if you thought we were wrong about something, just keep it to yourself. We don't need that kind of negativity. But yeah, just thanks for listening. Buy a Muscle Rock shirt. Treat yourself to it. You deserve it. And we'll see you next week.
remember, you gotta watch this between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. or else I'll come to your house and shit in your bed.
How could I forget?
The threat changes every week now. Every time I say it, I'm gonna eat your mom. Fuck you. Watch our podcast.
It used to be that if you listened outside of the hours,
eat the shorts.
It used to be that if you listened outside of our business hours, which are 9 a.m. through 9 p.m., Jared would come into your house and piss in your pants. But
you didn't take that threat seriously.
That wasn't enough for some of you, so now he has to shit in your bed, and that's on you.
Every year, every week, I'm gonna change the insult. I'm gonna change the threat. You're never gonna know what to expect.
You're gonna be kept on your toes.
You little piss baby, dirty boys. Fuck you. Watch our podcast on YouTube and other things. Follow me in the description below, or just home. It would be fun to hang out with someone.
Good night, everyone.
Goodbye.